This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. Different watch brands use the start of a new year to announce revised pricing lists, as they do practically every year. The price structure changes with the new year. This is a routine procedure for the majority of businesses, not just for the watch industry. And given the state of the global economy right now, it's evident that 2023 is not a year either to see a decline in the pricing. The price lists of different watch brands now reflect the fact that production costs are rising. We must keep in mind that Rolex is exceedingly secretive, almost reclusive about its sales or production numbers. But with the recent reports online from the start of this year, the most recent increase occurred just 4 months after a 5% increase in price for some watch models in September, and this is according to a Bloomberg report on January 3 of this new year. The Swiss watchmaker will average a 2.5% price hike in the US and UK markets. This is clear that in 2023, Rolex raised its prices once more. In this video brought to you by The Luxury World, we will take a look at the potential impact of the new price increases in Rolex and on the luxury watch industry. If you still have not subscribed to our channel yet, make sure to do it now so you can stay updated on our future videos. In spite of the current inflation, luxury retail has maintained its strong performance outside of watches. Although Rolex often raises prices at the beginning of the year, the second price increase was unexpected and was implemented according to analysts to safeguard the watchmaker's profits during a period of currency swings and a strong US dollar. It seems natural that Rolex chose even smaller cost increases in 2023 given the economy, particularly the deflation of stock markets and cryptocurrency prices, and the restoration of more regular pricing for the top resale watches, such as Rolex, Audemars Piguet, and Patek Philippe. According to the report, Barclays analysts Pallav Mittal and Richard Taylor wrote in a note to clients that investors are well accustomed to price rises being a crucial part of this extremely competitive industry. But it's positive to see this proceed given that we think it will have no discernible effect on volumes. According to their analysts, the cost of the most popular Rolex models increased by 1% to 3% in the British and American markets. In comparison to the United States, the price increase in the United Kingdom was marginally larger, about 2.6% versus 2.2%. And this report is based on the information from Watches of Switzerland's statistics. According to Watches of Switzerland, Rolex accounts for nearly half of its sales. So no wonder how significant it is to see the price changes for Rolex as one of the top luxury watch brands in the industry. Rolex started 2023 by increasing prices on at least some of its watches, as has become its norm. Although things appear to be progressively settling down, there is still a very high demand for Rolex watches, and most steel and sports models have excessive waiting lists. With the launch of the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program this year, Rolex also joined the second-hand watch market. A month after the watchmaker said it will enter the resale market with a new certified pre-owned service, the price of Rolex also increased. Rolex's decision to accept and participate in the resale market was in line with what a number of other premium brands had done. Rolex is empowering its authorized shops to sell previously owned goods that have been verified as legitimate and to find new customers, as opposed to turning over that expanding retail commerce industry to external platforms. The 1st of January has been a major occasion on the Rolex calendar for the past 2 years. The annual price rise has been announced for that particular day. We were a little startled that it occurred yet again this year, even though it makes sense. Given that the majority of Rolex's timepieces sold more pre-owned than new, it's difficult to criticize them for boosting their pricing. To be honest, prices have increased for almost everything in recent years. And this is not just for the watches, but almost all products and services we come across on the market. And inflation has caused the global economy to collapse. This is not yet included in the global crisis that happened as an after effect of the pandemic, and we are still in the recovery period in most aspects of the economy. You might now be also wondering how much of a price increase did Rolex make? Rolex increased its pricing in 2023 by an average of 3.45%, or $733 per reference across all collections. Though stainless steel references had a minor increase, the two-tone and solid gold references saw the most increased costs. The company has demonstrated restraint with its price hikes for new watches in light of the steep price increases for Rolex watches on the secondary market in recent years, as well as the skyrocketing demand and surging inflation at both workshops and retailers during the previous year. There were times when it seemed like everyone wanted a Rolex but nobody could afford one. But what happened after the pandemic is what actually altered the luxury watch market. Traders looked for diversified assets to lodge their funds in immediately after the pandemic's peak in order to continue making gains. Many of these people profited at the time from the attractive crypto market. They also started investing in prestige watches as an alternative. Whenever the mainstream market for luxury products is unable to satisfy demand, the secondary market ramps up. Rolex timepieces were no different. Take the Daytona design as an illustrative example. It was undoubtedly the most well-liked model from the company and a clear favorite among fans of luxurious watches. Prices on the secondary market skyrocketed as a reaction to the intense demand. The Daytona had price tags in the upper 5 to low 6 digits due to an imbalance between supply and demand. Several Rolex watches are available today at more affordable prices than ever before on the secondary market. Again, having an excess of their goods is not something that luxury businesses are delighted to have, since it lowers demand as the impression of exclusivity diminishes. How about the idea that Rolex is getting too pricey for consumers? The price of Rolex watches was already considered to be excessive, and following the most recent price hike, it may have become much more so. Although they currently trade at a premium on the used market, it's positive that it will not continue for long. Even though Rolex is creating more watches presently, it has become more difficult to buy them due to price increases in recent years. We anticipate that new models will return to cases shortly, and that waiting lines will shorten. That might exactly be what Rolex desires. By producing more watches and increasing profits, they are virtually regulating their own supply and demand. A number of goods have become more expensive as a result of inflation, but it's not easy to be convinced that the third price increase in a relatively short period is the result of inflation. These most recent price hikes may indicate that perhaps the Swiss watchmaker views price rises as a method to safeguard its profit margins in the face of growing inflation. And as some reports also included, Rolex is apparently intending to invest $1 billion on a new Swiss facility, which could help with supplies. The manufacturer's existing production facilities in Switzerland, including assembly factories in Geneva and the production of a motion facility in Bienne, would join the new Lake Geneva location, which is an area of 1 million square feet. As one of the most well-known watch companies in the world, Rolex offers a wide selection of high-end watches. The model and brand you choose might have a big impact on the cost when asking how much a Rolex costs. Despite of the price increases, the desire of the Rolex watch enthusiasts are still unbothered. And this means that it's just a few of the challenges when it comes to owning a luxury watch like Rolex and keeping up with the hobby of collecting and investing on such these glorious luxury watch brands in both for fashion and satisfaction. Basically, these price increases may be excellent news for those who already own Rolexes, even though they're bad news for those seeking to obtain a new one, because it's now extra challenging as that is already given the length of Rolex's waitlists. And once again, we meet at the end of this video. What are your thoughts about the new price increases with Rolex that we have discussed in this video? Do you think it changes your mind about buying a Rolex watch or not? We would like to see your answers and opinions in the comment section. If you liked this video, we will be glad if you let us know that too. Don't forget to follow us and give us a thumbs up. Once again, this is The Luxury World, and we look forward to seeing you again in our next videos.